It's just you. It's just you. It's all you.
Welcome to Let's Talk. Today we're going to talk about Supernatural and Dean's Cage for Michael. My name is Elroy. This is my world. Thank you for joining me. Let's begin. Now, in the recent episode of Supernatural, Dean was able to lock Michael, the Archangel, in his mind with the help of Castiel and Sam, and that presents a few questions that I kind of wanted to address today. The first is the question of the door being strong enough to keep Michael in. Now, I know we did see that Dean said it's his rules, it's his mind, which means that he should be able to theoretically, right? But Michael seems to be getting stronger in there, and we note that by the very fact that he's able to dent the wall, the door to try and get out, and that the locks, everything is banging. So it is pretty difficult, I think, for Dean to be able to keep Michael in. So the question becomes, does Dean have the mental strength and the mental capacity to make sure that Michael doesn't get out? I mean, we know that if we watched the show for years, Dean is quite strong and quite capable mentally, but he did break in hell. He did become a very torturous person in hell. So the question is, considering that he could break there, and that's from demons, the Archangel Michael, who's supposed to be able to control the sword, is now locked inside the sword's brain. So the question becomes, will Michael be able to get out? Will he be able to break down the door? Will he be free? And if this happens, right, would he then pretend to be Dean? I mean, the storyline there could be anything, and we wouldn't really know what's going on. Could Michael get out in a couple episodes and pretend to be Dean, and maybe create a bigger army of monsters, a stronger army of monsters? What could be the consequences there if they can't figure out that Dean actually is Michael? Maybe he's going to also need to be saved by Michael in order to avoid being killed. I mean, because Dean, obviously human, he can die. So would Michael save him if he's in a situation where he's very possibly going to die? Would Michael be able to use his angelic powers to save the two of them? Because obviously Michael doesn't want to die. He wants to take control of the world, and he wants to do it right this time. I think that's the most important thing that he was trying to suggest, is that this season or this Earth, he wants to take over, but take over the correct way. So I guess then another question becomes, in future episodes, how is Dean going to be able to interact with the other characters? So, I mean, will Castiel be on guard, always trying to figure out whether Dean has Michael under his control? Will Castiel be worried about his well-being? Will Castiel be constantly curious to know whether or not Dean is Dean or is Dean Michael? Then you've got to worry. Then you've got to wonder what Sam's going to be thinking. Obviously, he could be worried, considering that the same thing, more or less, happened to him previously. In when he came out of the cage, he had to put a wall up because obviously there's a lot of stuff that was tampering with his mind. So this is quite similar to that sense, in the fact that that Sam had to lock away Lucifer. Now we've got Dean, who's locking away Michael. Sam locked away the memories of being with Lucifer, but Dean, I mean, I don't know if he's as strong as Sam mentally. Sam seems to be quite a strong-willed person. So will he be worried about Dean, how that's going to affect Dean? I mean, we can see on the show it's all about these two brothers. So Sam, obviously, he'll be worried at first. Will he be seeing Dean getting stronger over time? Will he be worrying that Michael's getting out? Then you have to wonder about Jack. Is he going to be afraid of Michael coming back? Is he going to be afraid of Dean? How is Jack going to interact knowing that Michael gave him this idea that he's just a chore for the boys and a burden? I mean, does that mean that Jack's going to hate maybe Dean and maybe see Michael in Dean? Or is Jack going to just get over it? And I think that if he does just get over it, that's going to be a bit worrying. The next person that we need to really address here is Mary. I mean, I know that it seems as though the show's showing that Mary is getting closer to Sam than she is to Dean. So does that mean that maybe having Michael will bring her closer into Dean, or will it drive her further away from him? I think that's something that needs to be addressed, considering the show's all about family, and the mother figure who was killed in the very first episode is now back properly, but still she seems to be moving further away from Dean, from what I can see anyway. Then I guess the question, another question that this episode poses is will Dean be able to access some of Michael's power? Will he be able to use that angelic power? Will he be able to access the grace of Michael? What could happen there? And what would happen to demons who were under Michael's control? Does that mean that Dean may be able to control them? I know that we saw when the Jinn was thinking that Dean was still Michael, that he had some sort of an idea. And obviously Dean saw something in that episode. I'm still curious to see what that was. But then I guess... does that mean that Dean may have some power over demons now? And I know that, again, that's mirrored earlier because Sam had this ability to basically kill demons. Now maybe Dean can control them. What's the go there? That's another question that I have, and I don't have the answers for any of these questions, so I would really love to know what your thoughts are regarding all of this. Then another question that I think we have to really address is the fact that, again, this kind of puts a rivalry between Sam and Dean. Dean, who, again, was Michael, obviously. Sam was Lucifer at one point. Does this mean that they're going to try and grow closer, or that they're going to try and grow further apart? What's the go there? Does Dean have to die? I think that's a very big question, because Dean has Michael locked away. Would killing Dean get rid of Michael? I would love to hear your thoughts on the fact that obviously, because Dean is now controlling Michael, or has him locked away, if he dies, does that get rid of Michael? And will that maybe mean that that would be the quickest way to end the Michael storyline, which obviously they won't go for? But does that mean that Dean may need to die? Then the other question is when. And I can guarantee you, I feel like this is going to happen. Michael will take control of Dean's body again at some point, or he'll be somebody else, and then they're going to have to try and destroy him or defeat him. The question there becomes, when will this happen? I'm going to predict that this is going to happen around about episode 19, maybe 20, and then we'll see Dean or Michael become the big bad again, who has been formidably building his forces, and now this will be the big fight at the end of season 14. Please let me know what you're thinking. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else from this episode that you'd like to discuss. Let me know if there's anything else from this episode that you think has been left open, and questions that you do have. Thank you for joining me. This is Elroy. Let's talk. Have a great day.